continue on now, and from where we left off last night. If I can actually remember. Continue. Hey, Gene. Want to spoil all the exploration fun? Okay, what's my mission? Search the thug's corpse. Which thug? Can't even remember who. Oh yeah, I had that monster thing down in the sewer to fight too. We'll start with that, I think, just for a little extra action. Well, mice are cute. Change an eye color? Oh yeah. Well, that is cool. Is that like after you start feeding on people, your eyes turn that weird red? That's cool. Distortion. Yes, it is. You can still be open from last night. That's cool. That's cool. It's nice little details like that that I always think add to games. The little collection of flies. From the look of it, that looks like a alpha mass texture. But well done. Ooh, dust particle effect, very nice as well. Okay, I better take this one up here first, or he'll jump down on me. Hello. Oh, sugar. Gotcha. Damn it, I was hoping to creep up on him to get a little bit of extra blood before this fight. Hopefully I come across a rat. If you see a rat, let me know. Where's my furry little rodent buddies? Ah, yes, there's the two little snacks on legs. Pest control. Okay. Let's see. What have I... Oh my. What have I got equipped? And that should do it just for the speed attacks for this big bugger. Oh yeah, I remember now I got the spear thing. That could help a bit. Oh yeah, I had a barrier thing as well. I forgot about that. Amazing how many of my own bloody abilities I forgot I even had. And we'll go for the scalpel for this big thing. Because I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's a vamp, so we might not need a stake. Plus the extra blood I get from the thing will be handy.
What sort of creature is this?
Come out of there. Dodge, damn it.
Here's what's left of him.
Gotcha, you big bastard.
Not a lot to check, but I should
Ha!
anyway.
Success. Ooh, that's just nasty. See, that there is the kind of design I had in mind for, like, what would be left after Cain uses flay. Just like a little bone gory skeleton and other bone pieces left behind after he uses the flay ability. Nurse Crane's voucher.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel.
What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find out.
Well, plus you also wanted me to play it just because you love the game as well, Loxoner. Tell the truth, shame the devil. I'm surprised he didn't drop anything, this big brutin thing. What the hell he is? He looks kind of... I'd almost say werewolf, but not quite. Anything else down here with any of these other body pieces? True, it does have a very nice atmosphere to it. By the way, hey Shirley. Come here, my little rodenty friends. Oh yes, you can see the rats in the lampstands as well.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Neither can I. I feel like Louis.
I have this thirst for blood.
No shit! So this might be a way out. Oh yeah, we got the fell out of there last night, didn't we? Yeah, that kind of little design of the little skeleton corpses down there is kind of what I have in mind for Flay. You swap out the enemy body, pretty quick, instantaneously, leave back a wee skeleton remain and a big giant explosion of blood to hide the switch. It's simple and basic, but it works remarkably well. Let's see, can I creep up on this guy before he turns around? I end up pressing the wrong button. My bad. Let's see what this blood spear thing actually looks like. I didn't get really a chance to really enjoy the mechanics of it while I was fighting the boss. Who the hell's that? A loading screen? How unusual. Couldn't think of it. I don't think I've actually, since I started, seen any of these loading screens.
Hello again, Mr. Thatcher. Do you feel any better?
Oh yeah, it's him.
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss, but to me it smells like the purest mountain air.
How poetic.
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear of being enclosed, Mr. Thatcher?
No, I really don't.
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted in a specific event. Perhaps it would help to talk about it.
Well, Doctor, take a guess then if you're so interested in my case.
When I rescued you, you expressed joy at seeing the sky again. So I'm inclined to believe you were trapped or buried somehow. Maybe during the shelling.
Jeez, you're good, Doc. You're really good.
Go on, please. Tell me more about it.
Newton and I were trapped in a circulation tunnel after an artillery attack. We were buried alive for several days without ever knowing if we'd be found.
Oswald, tell me about what happened when you were buried in that tunnel with Newton.
It was more than dark. It was black as pitch. Hours seemed like days, days like months. The terror, the shameful thoughts. Lord have mercy.
Shameful thoughts. Tell me about them.
At some point, I don't remember which day, but when I thought we'd never be rescued, that this would be our end, I thought about...
Say it, Mr. Thatcher. If you ever want to heal, you have to say it.
I thought about what I could do to survive. Just for a few more days.
Chewing on his dear old buddy, I bet.
I thought about killing Newton. Killing and eating him.
I knew it.
Fucking love.
The man I... Ooh. Interesting.
What you endured was terrifying. It would have completely destroyed weaker men.
It did not destroy Newton.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
Ah, Newton's a classic case.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all.
Why were you locked in that sewer? What happened?
I went by the canal after an argument with a friend. Got chased by these fucking wankers and had to barricade myself in, despite my claustrophobia.
Why did you run? What was the reason for your argument?
Newton wanted me to go to a hospital, but I can't stand being closed in. Makes me feel like I'm suffocating.
Tell me
we
about
covered
your
that.
claustrophobia. Has anyone given you an official diagnosis?
That's what the bloody doctor said. But I don't want to go to a hospital to get checked again. I'll deal with it my own way.
Oswald, why did you not go to the Pembroke Hospital to seek medical help?
I don't trust doctors. All they care about was their careers and processes. I won't be locked in any room again by anyone.
Your fear of being trapped is not going to go away by itself. You need professional help.
I've seen enough butchers in white coats to last a lifetime. Hospitals reek of chemicals and death. What I need is fresh air.
Mr. Thatcher, do you have a
Claustrophobia will hardly end his life.
Since I came back from the war, I spent most of my time and energy just trying to forget.
I understand what you mean. I was a soldier too.
No, nobody can truly understand what I've gone through.
Goodbye, Mr.
That's all we need from him, so we'll go to the
Try
other
to
guy
take
and
care of yourself.
see if we can learn any more tidbits of information. Our little closet case friend here.
Hello again, Mr. Blight. I'm happy to see Mr. Thatcher is safe for now.
I'm eternally grateful, Doctor. We were total strangers and you helped us anyway. Can't thank you enough, sir.
You are always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honored to welcome a fellow veteran.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that decision by himself.
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors, but perhaps because you've been through it.
Do you have to stay at a certain distance to like spy on them, or will they still give away secrets if you're close by? Oh yeah, he doesn't like rats.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
It started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, my fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald. He found me and saved me.
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't
He
survive
admits
the
it.
war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well, you know, never thought I'd love a man.
Enjoy your love. And enjoy life as long as you can, Mr. Blight. Don't let anyone tell you who you should love or how you should love them.
I appreciate your kind words, sir. But it ain't that easy. It's all so new to me.
You and Oswald were buried alive during the war. Tell me about it.
Yeah. It was last summer. A shell hit our trench and we were buried for a week.
How did you
It
survive?
was a week.
Luckily for us, there were rations and water in the tunnel. It was an outpost, see. Since then, Oswald's not keen on being inside for too long.
Wait a minute, if there were rations and water, what the hell was he on about killing and eating you?
Oswald seemed far more traumatized than you by the event.
It wasn't the first time it happened to me. Surviving it again gave me strength. You believe that?
Why do you stay here now that Mr. Thatcher's back?
It's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me, I've got my own issues.
Can you speak about them?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one, they turn me. Just want to run. It's that fear that stopped me from going after Oswald when he left.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.
Oh, come to think of it, I didn't talk to him again after talking to Thatcher, maybe more unlocked.
Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Oh, there we go.
Newton is conflicted about his feelings towards you. Would you like to talk about it, Oswald?
It makes me sad and angry.
Hey, what a shit stir.
It feels like the beautiful thing we have is somehow tainted. It hurts to see him so lost.
His love for you is genuine, I'm certain he wasn't lying to me when he expressed his feelings for you.
Newton still has to accept it, knowing he'll be seen as a queer, a fairy, less than a man in those simple-minded bigots' eyes. Though he's more of a man than they'll ever be, so fuck them all.
Here we are.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher. Try to take care of yourself.
Ooh, he's worth 3,000 experience. What's the other one for? Hmm, 3,700. He's mesmerized 3. Ooh, he's level 1. Well, technically I could chew on him at this point, but he's still got a headache, so he's given less experience. Maybe if I can heal that. Well, so I'll give him a little time together. Now, this guy got anything new to say, Mr.
Dr. Reed,
Crooked
any
Dr.
good
Tippett?
news to share?
Oh, once I can get my hands on him. Don't think I can do much with him until I say I can cover for him. As long as I don't say that to the nurse, right, Luxner? I can tell him I'll cover for him, but not tell the nurse. Okay then. So I'll say I'll cover for him just so I
will
can
cover for
find out more information to him.
by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make.
Hey,
I
Michael.
believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
What will you do after your resignation? Do you have a plan?
I always fancied visiting Cyprus. Such a beautiful island. I could buy a house there by the sea, read poetry, and wait for death.
Oh, welcome to the stream, Giver. It's always good to get a hint, get a little break from real life. It's going pretty well. Got a new animator a couple of days ago who joined us, who's done exceptionally good work already. He is very keen. He also knows the Unreal Engine very well, so he's working on that too. He makes a few of the minor models, you know, bits and pieces, fireplaces, huts, caravans, chimneys, that kind of thing. So he's very keen and pretty skilled. Plus he knows the Unreal Engine well too. He's actually made a couple of things to sell on the marketplace. Very true, the Unreal Engine is definitely
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
some people might think Unity's easier, but I think Unreal basically has them beat just because of the visual scripting, and not to mention this whole numerous partnership things they have at the minute. I mean, they partnered up with Quixel, so we got like over 11,000 textures and materials to work with just from that alone. Some serious amount of goodies. Plus, then you get monthly ship free. And the occasional permanently free stuff they keep adding. Just tons of stuff in it. Okay, she's healthy. Pippa, fine in a minute. Where is Whitechapel? Must be exciting being able to produce a game that you're a fan of. It is, yeah. Originally I started the thing on a like just as a way to actually learn the Unreal Engine. North, as in north outside or north inside the hospital. But yeah, after I was working on the project then for about two or three years, then you just kind of realize then you want to do more. So that's when I looked up some of the other info and all, and after a while then I heard about Blood Omnicide. At the time as well, the Soul Revenant team had pretty much stopped because they weren't getting any kind of responses from Square Enix. So that's when I thought maybe I should try contacting them. Ooh, nice work on the little water on the puddles. Very nice, very nice. How many are working on? I think it's roughly about somewhere between 15 to 20 people of us working on it now. Once I get all the collaboration systems set up properly for everyone to have access to the thing, and for who needs what jobs and what all needs to be sorted, it should go even a lot quicker. And those guys again? Are they still up there? But right now we got like 5 main people, and there's 20 on the team. You know, concept artists, people who know the history and the lore of the entire series, and all those kind of like, you know, advisors, and lots of little side things. Some for landscapes, some for texturing. See, can I hit this guy with a spear thing? Yes, I can. Ooh, it does good damage to him too. Technically, I know I already killed those, so I didn't need to, but experience is experience. In fact, in between my streams over the last couple of days, I've been going into the system and fixing up a few of the textures. Been replacing some of them with some of the textures from Quixel. Yeah, the first blood game, the original one that was on the PS1. It had a it had like the wee look down isometric view. So I decided what better way to modernize that might appeal to Square Enix than to make it like third person, while still keeping it very much in line with the original, but still add some bits and bobs. Well, we can finally go this way. Ooh, white crosses, not a good sign. What the hell is that noise? Is that thing level 18? Oh, hell no. Uh-uh. Level 10? Ain't no way I'm taking on one of those fuckers at level 18. Level 18. Hail to the chicken fried no. What's that down there? What is that thing doing? Whatever it is, I ain't taking it on. Buddy, are you really gonna stand there with a gun in your hand while there's a demon thing over here? I'm almost ready. I'm almost willing to. Oh god, they're level 12.
Step away, sir. Stop now!
You said to step away, make up your mind.
Stupid beast!
I tried to be peaceful, y'all saw it. Well, you all saw I tried to avoid the fight. I tried to be nice and peaceful, but they wouldn't have it. Their fault, not mine. Y'all are witnesses. Will you shut the hell up, you screeching squirt? Is that pennies? I see pennies. Give me those pennies. Thelma? Who's Thelma? Oh yes, our little nutty friend. Come to think of it, I haven't spoken to her yet today, and she's always entertaining. Let's go see what she had to say. Because I still have a bit more work to do of unlocking experience around the chapel. Or the hospital, I should say. Let's see, what did I say?
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Oh, she's level 5. It'll be a while before I can even get a sink my teeth into her. Hide the bodies.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Nothing of interest yet at the minute from her. Where is she? Where's little Matt? Oh, there she is.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Nutty as a fruitcake.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Forador would think otherwise.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Oh, brother. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, I should probably get a couple more health things made while I'm here in the hospital. Yes, I haven't spoken to him for a while, or his mother, to find out more tidbits of information. He has a headache. I could maybe make up a treatment for that, to get a bit more experience from him. Let's see what I've got in my workbench. Oh, there's Tippet. As soon as I can, I'm chewing on you, Buster. Ooh, there's things in there. Ooh, what's that bit of paper? Right, missed it, whatever it was. I say I'm disappearing. Okay, let's see. Treatment for headaches. Sepsis. Pneumonia. Colds. Bronchitis. Anemia. Fatigue. Nothing for headaches yet. Okay, I'll make 2 more of those. And 1 more of those. Just to have. Maybe I should chat to Elwood again. He's level 1 Mesmer. I could maybe sneak him off somewhere to chew on for a little more experience before I try and fight these level 10 plus buggers outside. I always like to be a higher level than what I'm actually fighting. Especially when you're going to be surrounded by them sometimes.
Here again. So many deaths. And what of my...
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Let's see. Oh, nothing available yet.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
I'll remember that.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Cheerful bloke.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. I feel better already. Can I go soon?
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Sweet no face.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Ooh, that's a bad idea to this asylum and find goddamn slaughterhouse inside.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place, and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero.
Could Holocaust possibly be a real thing?
Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
See if she's got any interesting info for me today.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
Can't even talk to her. She's one of the few NPCs you can't really interact with until you need to.
Someone's poached my blanket. Oh, the cold will be my death.
With you at our side, Dr. Reed, I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive.
Oh, an unknown, someone I haven't spoke to yet. How interesting.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me...
I doubt I'll be able to snack on him anyway because my mesmer's still way too low.
Good evening.
I'm trying to get that thing to level up.
I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Cheerful bloke.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment?
Could possibly be a character in here without some ulterior motive.
Time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Got a point.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
More info on him. Perhaps, I think that's one of the doctors.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what
Now,
exactly
him I'll
is
definitely
that?
chew on when I can.
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Level 4. Oh, brother. I can get my teeth into this guy.
I don't see any reason why I should justify my actions to you.
That's true, Dr. Reed. The only judge has to be yourself. The question is, are you judging yourself hard enough?
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna get chewed on as soon as I can.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Oh boy, My ass is eating my coat again.
I'm so tired.
Good evening, Mr.
Hungry
Goswick.
bum syndrome.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look
weird.
unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Nothing from her yet.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Good evening, sir.
I will not let you down, my boy.
I saw an unknown somewhere. Oh, what's going on here?
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening,
Nope,
Dr. Reed.
button, damn it.
Any news about my operation?
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening,
damn
Dr.
it.
Reed. Any news about my operation?
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
How do I get outside the window?
Down, my boy.
Or where is that anyway? That's...
My sweet girl.
Can I get out there this way?
Like a book.
Ah, we can. Excellent.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you. like the whole world lies to us.
That's a weird conversation. Of course, he's level 2, so even when I do find out everything. Unusual. Very, very unusual. I wonder if learning that little tidbit of information unlocked any more hints in his conversation with him.
As for me, so a blundering idiot.
Still more coming. How can we be sure we're making it?
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
Key of the Goswick house. Marker. Where we'll find his goddamn house.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
I wish that coat would get out of my ass. It's very distracting. Yep, still not taking on that thing yet. Straight ahead then. Oh, even next to the end, they're just random buildings. Oh, nice. Like a little exploration. It's one of the things I might add for Blood Omen. A few little extra buildings you can go in and out of and nosy around. Ooh, pennies, pennies. Give me the pennies. Ooh, all the textures on that door. Ooh, not the best at all. It's closed. Something be down there.
Gentlemen, are you deaf?
What the hell is this? Batman? What the? Change your plan. Change your plan. Ooh, he's fast. That was unexpected. If I can maybe sneak up on him. Okay. Much easier now with the big fuckers out of the way. Yeah, they're definitely not all noobs. I wonder what he was looking at over here. Ooh, rats, rats. Come here. Tons of rats.
I can't believe I'm
Oh, almost didn't even see that fucker.
I have this.
Sorry, my little rodent friends, but I need blood.
Blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
More and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye, but the guards recruit more and more every year.
When did you join the guard? 2 days ago. This is my first patrol.
Seems to be a lot of guards around this area.
It's locked all right.
Stay close, keep an eye on each other.
It's closed.
Oh boy, 3 of them again.
Better go home, sir.
Last warning!
Turn around, sir. Sir. You! Get back!
Another one? Hit him, goddammit. Stamina nonsense. You're a vampire, for God's sake. You shouldn't run out of stamina this quick just for swinging a sword. It's just downright embarrassing. Looks like this is the way to go.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Hideout? Where's a hideout? Looks like it's around the corner somewhere. you know you're not supposed to pick pills up off the street? Ooh, what's up here? It's a novel idea having a nice super joke to get some of these little hidden locations and things. He came and running in with the coronavirus.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert! Stop it!
Ooh. What's going on over here?
Another drunk arsehole living in the streets. Not me. The wet.
Someday you'll
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Treatment for fatigue. Oh, and he's level 1. I'll remember that. Once I get to my little hideout around here somewhere.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London. So you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
He's not endearing himself to me, that's for sure.
Goodbye, young man.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life away.
Me? I'll not die in some...
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse
The basics
Dorothy
out of the way
Crane
first?
from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Interesting. Treatment for migraines. Okay, so treatment for fatigue and a treatment for migraines to be got. Remember that for me, Loxeter.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert Smuller. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Oh, that's his son.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
Debiloxer, would that include those little box of pills that we just found a couple of minutes ago?
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Gee, I gotta get to that hideout to see if I can make some of these goodies. What the hell is this?
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Oh, brother.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Swanborough, where's that name familiar? Not Swansea. Stricken. Organs, hook, tibbet. Don't know why that name's familiar. I'll probably run into it at some point.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life away.
Where is that hideout? Oh, no. Somewhere down this way. Should be around here somewhere. There we go. I don't want to know. Ooh, safe. A large box of pills. Lots of goodies in here. Okay, let's see. What was it I needed? One for fatigue. One was for migraines, wasn't it? Don't have any treatments for migraines yet. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Oh, you can recycle parts. Oh, interesting. In the cemetery where those two skulls were by the morgue, you mean? I'll remember that when I get back to the hospital. They're eating each other. What's this now? What a load of dribble. Two, is there not 3 of those buggers in here? Wait a minute, wasn't this where I... Oh, for God's sake, I'm back here again? This is where I fought those 3 guards. Drat. Oh well, I need to get back here anyway to find that fella to give him this fatigue medicine.
Boy. Me?
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
I didn't want the experience so bad, you little... No, 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 not that option, you goddamn twit. I was trying to give him the medicine. Release, release.
Me? I'll not...
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
How do I give him this fatigue medicine again, Loxner? I have to press something. I can't remember what it was from last night.
Do Do you need assistance?
Please.
Ah, yes, you're right, you're right. I knew it was some button, I just couldn't remember which. Thank you.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Mm, 750, and I haven't even unlocked any secrets from him yet.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll keep him alive a little longer. Yeah, give me some, quite a nice boost of experience.
I won't end up another drop. Castle littering the streets. Not me.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life away.
When science fails you,
I cannot enter.
Let's see, here's where our mission is.
What? What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
There she is.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Triad. Names to inspect.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Ah. Relatively close to both. How convenient.
I should never have taken up my father's business. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes. Those bloody immigrants should know their place, eh? How dare they do a better job than the lazy natives of this land?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean, besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever. Madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Little extortion rackets.
Right.
How thoroughly interesting. Well, he's standing around like he's got a flagpole up his ass, but we'll speak to him.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
This is the one.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle.
Oh, those guys again.
You are a criminal who endorses criminal activity. The least you could do is stop hiding behind this pretense.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Ooh, that barely doubled his experience.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Goodbye.
Come back to him a little later.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't we just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call. Barrett, you pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched. Now let your guard down, sir.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So this is his son. More fatigue. We're gonna have to start making more of these fatigue medicines.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Dreary little sod, isn't he?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... well, you know.
Speaking of which, what... Can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
That's a blunt way of putting it.
Bluntness, young man. But you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom. Is there only pain and suffering?
It's locked.
So he was on a brother jobs too. Looks like Joe fancies himself becoming a hunter.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
The story might not be as in-depth as like the Legacy games, but the interaction with the people is very interesting.
This is despicable.
Come here, my little meals on legs.
I have this thirst for blood.
Ooh.
It's locked, all right.
What do you mean locked? Wasn't that the hideout I already went into? How is it still locked? Drat.
This is despicable.
Imprisoned by your daily routine, unable to see the true horror around you.
Oh yeah, bring out your dead here.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan
Cheerful
Reed,
bloke.
and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him to the cemetery. Can you say stupid?
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Oh man, I've got to kill this guy.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
It's way out of my way, or in this direction.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched. Don't let your guard down, sir.
Okay, I gotta get into my hideout again to unlock this door. Still we could need a fatigue medicine too. There's been like a couple of those. I always keep needing them. Oh, I came through that door, so that can't be the one. Oh, this must be the one. Oh, just. Bronchitis? Do I have the one for bronchitis? Oh, yes, I do. Oh, don't have potassium for that one. Or at least don't have enough of it yet. So maybe I'll go to that herbalist. Maybe she sells some potassium.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
What a dreary child.
Take care of yourself.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
You again? What do you want this time?
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
We may test that theory.
Mr. Peterson.
Yeah, where was that woman? Oh, there she is, down there. Maybe she has some potassium for the bronchitis medicine. This way? Yes, it was this way. Ah, there she is.
When science...
Good evening, my dear colleague.
I'd like to
yes,
see
I know,
what
Luxner,
kind of
I'm evil.
medicine you're selling.
Let's see, potassium, potassium, potassium. Ah, here we go. I think I needed 2 or 3 pieces I needed. I'll get 2 just in case.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Okay, so I'll make it the bronchitis. Oh, let's face it, being evil is way more fun. There we go. I'll make 1 more fatigue, I always seem to need them. Okay, now to find one of these guys near the chapel for this nurse. I'm starting to wonder now what she's up to. This saintly crap is being absolutely nauseating. So, Clayton or Richard should be around here somewhere.
You are blinded by your false faith.
This one, perhaps?
Imprisoned by your daily routine. Unable to see the
Oh yeah, he's definitely a poet.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel.
I think the specularity of some of their materials are a little awful. This flashing of the materials is a bit crazy.
I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Oh, brother. Another bunk for fatigue. Good grief.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Independent, in other words.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
If no one stops it, this epidemic could turn into a scourge. It may kill more people than the war itself.
Yes, this is another kind of war, but just as deadly. History will judge us all for what we did and what we did not.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Can I get behind the church to find this guy? Another screaming lunatic. Get off, you little bugger. Whoa! Quarantine. I should be right back. Call of nature can't be avoided. sorry about that, folks. Needs must. Oh, hey Brandy, hey Sylvia, hey Lucy. Sweets to go with all this death and disease. Oh, well, now you're just teasing. There's always room for a few sweeties. Okay, guy behind the chapel. What the hell is this idiot doing?
Good evening, sir.
Lunatic.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Cold.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Sure you haven't.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Oh, so he's the one with the bronchitis, eh?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What a putz.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me
What
about Camellia?
He's a putz.
That's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles, and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Ruddy lunatics, this goddamn city's
I'll
full of
leave
them.
you alone, sir.
We're gonna have a hospital, they should just have a nut house. I knew he was a putz.
Good evening, Mr. Nithercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Still, you don't seem to suffer from poverty.
With thanks to my parents, actually. I'm afraid I would not be able to live on my own without their help.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
Get some cold medicine for him, and once I get to level 3, I'll chew on the idiot.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Didn't you say there was supposed to be some, something to find for the headache medicine in the cemetery? Oh, up around there, huh? Oh, sure, I'll get there at some point eventually.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it?
Ooh, 5,000.
Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Tell me about Richard Nithercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Very well. Goodbye then.
That was enlightening, I must say. Okay, where is this guy? Find the mailbox? Well, there's a mailbox. Is that the one? True. Should have been written in English, but also shows why the hell would he throw it out instead of actually sending it.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
He's quite pompous in his
Darius
idea of
is
being
bit
a
less of
hero
mystery
again.
now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Gate's locked. Okay, where do I go from here? Where am I? Chapel. Act. It's back down to him now.
You look so pale, my lord. Would you like me to revive you?
Oh, what? You the handsome one. Oh, I'm not the only one that was thinking
Don't
it.
be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Oh, well.
Do you know
I'm
Nurse
not saying a
Dorothy
word.
Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger. That's your decision. But what about your clients?
Hey, Derek.
If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger.
This is the game Vampyr.
If you knew the men I deal with, their health
Oxana
would not
recommended
be
it
what
to
you
me.
worry about.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Not one of fatigue. 4 listeners, so I won't be able to help her for quite some time anyway.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Okay, that's him again. So, just straight down here then to get where we need to.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
It's locked, all right.
Yes, pay no attention, I'll just raid your house of all its
If
goodies.
you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
He was the one for bronchitis, eh?
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane.
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nethercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes, his manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told
Gotta
him
agree.
so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful
The core of the story seems to be just basically finding out his, what happened to him, but
Good man for sure, but a very poor.
the interesting thing of the mechanics is learning everyone else's stories. Just talking to all the people, finding out all the details. And of course, then the more you know about them, apparently, the more experience you can get if you decide to chew on them.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She
Oh, we got that
volunteered
one
to
already.
give out our medical leaflets.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
There we go. I'll unlock these gates for benefit of later. This is quite a little practice she's built up here. Look at this. Probably got more beds than the goddamn hospital. I'll be right back, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Wow, she's worth quite a big chunk of experience now. See a little, she's still over there. Well, Kane basically is our master vamp. That's why even the fans and the clans tell tales. You just change the whole only scene. The fans tell tales of him.
I need help.
Oh, there she is.
He's going into convulsion.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor.
And you would trust a guy with eyes like that?
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see.
True Blood and Twilight? Oh, that's just, that's just cruel. Tell us she's evil. Hmm. What do you think, Luxoner? Yes, we can't see. We can't let her see if he decides to vamp out.
Yes. I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, Doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
Cardiac massage, now.
Not surprised that she suggested Twilight. Guess I made a bad choice being distracted. Oopsie.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
Always the analysis. Nerd! Couldn't resist.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. To what do I owe this courtesy?
It's locked.
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Oh, these ones are the big important ones, huh? So if she's the one that's doing the blackmail on the other vampire at the hospital. That's the main thing, sorry. Gotta get that woman outside to get more info on vamps in the town. We find out who was the one that attacked my character. Illegal? Don't care about.
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
I don't want to say embrace, but I doubt doing that would get me her experience. Or will it? I remember she had like 2K of experience. At least. Or Charmer could be interesting. Very true, Derek.
Nurse Crane, there is no question that the work you've done here is extraordinary, but this dispensary is incapable of coping with the outbreak. It's only a question of days before the situation at hand will overwhelm us. I cannot allow it. It's my duty to put an end to this immediately.
Now that's satisfying. Not quite as satisfying as Kane, but still highly satisfying.
In the end, I saved lives and you took them. But we had so much in common, Doctor. Don't you see that?
Oh, finally my mesmerize went up. Holy hell, it went up to 8K in experience. Oh my. Ah, small key too. Interesting. I think there was a... Right, open this little... Ah, there we go. Treatments for headache. Medical voucher?
It's locked.
What is this guy doing in here? What the hell is going on here? I can't see a thing. Sheesh. What lighting. Ooh, another one outside.
Stupid thief!
Probably can't even get out of here now. Nope. Come on, kill him quick. Oh, you little bugger. Is this on stream? Yes, it is, yes. I'll be uploading it to my YouTube channel as well. You'll see the link for that on down below. Is there not a third guard? Where is he? Guess he disappeared.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in. Yes?
Oh, Steam! I thought you said stream.
I know you fought for your country when it...
There's also the option of using the
Tell me more about
Xbox
my days are numbered, and I know I
PC
won't
Pass.
see my homeland
You get the
again.
first month for £1. That's what I did. So basically got a month of their games, which includes this one.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this
Ooh,
country.
he's not going to be happy for me when he goes to visit her again.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Yeah, I think it is on sale right now as well, yeah.
You have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Oh, I see, yes.
Do you need some help, Mr. Petrescu?
I am very tired, but that is all. I don't need you, Doctor.
Well, I think you do. Take this, and you'll feel better.
Take a life, heal a life. Is that the... keeping the scales in balance there, eh, Luxoner?
Must be my lucky day.
Is there anything else to do on him, or can I chew on him as well? I doubt I'll need him again.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows?
Should I wait for him to recover before snacking?
My people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Ooh, a few snacks won't crash the place, I don't think. I've been good. I've been good for far too long in this game. I need to start doing a little evil.
Who will assist Dorothea helping our comrades now that I die?
Oh, she doesn't need any more assistance either. Ooh, 100 shillings. Lead plate. Poem? What's this? Oh, another safe. Large box of pills. Excellent. As you can see, the status of the place is serious. I'm sure it won't be better after I've finished. But I need to just cleanse myself and do a little evil. And yes, I can go back here later. I think I need to go to back to the hospital now and
As long as you have the money.
talk to that Ashbury lady.
Me?
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley
Then I've gotta
worse than a week-old lab.
sleep for the night to get some, use some of this. Oh my, it's up to 10,000 experience now. Oh, that'll get me some nice little upgrades now and power me up a bit. If I can just remember how the hell I get to the hospital now. I think I remember if I came this way.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh, this is a hideout. Didn't even notice. How rude. That flashing light is driving me cuckoo.
Kill it, boy! There's one of them vermin.
Yikes!
Let's go! Like some bit of fire.
Oh boy. Wasn't prepared for those guys. Level 14. Three of them too. Good thing I found this this place. I think that's the only way I can get back is through there, so I might as well just do my upgrades here. Ah. I don't believe... I don't have the recipe yet for the headache treatment. So for now... Time I think to take a little upgrades. Let's see. The ultimates, what are these? That could be interesting. Oh, that's that one that brings up those like big shadow spikes from the ground, isn't it? That one did. I saw that one in the trailer, so it looked absolutely fabulous. Focus your will to boil your target's blood, causing it to violently explode. Oh, that's a tough choice between those two. One's that flashy looking one, and the other one looks very much, it seems very much like implode or something. That's a tough choice. $2,000 to upgrade that? Holy hell. These upgrade costs are getting insane. Sure health. Which do you think, Loxner? A little mini implode or a the big abyss power? Which do you think is best for some? Oh, it's best for the bosses. Yes, I'll probably go with that one then. Useful for bosses, and it's only 1,000, so I'll take that one. Of course, technically I could probably take all three. I got enough experience, but for the time being, let's update some of these too. Increase my maximum health. And the damn stamina. Neither have I, surely. That's why. That's why I'm torturing Loxner for all the details. Increase my stamina by 60%. Yes. Okay, what else have we got here? Blood capacity. Blood absorption. Yes. Steak? Okay, I'll start focusing more on our little, going back to the hospital, so I'll focus a little on Thelma. After dinner. Let's see. I'm almost tempted for the claws, but that's a hell of a jump of 2,000 just for... But it is a fast and effective one. Yeah, I better get it. It's a fast and effective power, pretty good for those little skulls and shit. Those following ones, I'll wait till I get some more, eat a few more people. This barrier. I think I'm going to use that barrier a couple of times, so I won't bother with it. This, I won't get to both of them, I'll just stick with one of those for now. So I'll, it's the cost of my next upgrade for health. Yes. And stamina. Oh, it's up to 1,000 now. Okay. What about the bite? Life regeneration? Might as well. Low amounts at this point. What about these serum things? What's this? Carry 3 serums? Yeah, might as well. They've been useful for a couple of the boss fights. What are these two? Perform a supernatural move to your target. Is that like a like Kane's super jump, where you just kind of like jump to them and do some damage to them type of thing? Or is it like a, or maybe a teleportation type of thing? Ooh. A little invisibility type of thing. Ah. Two interesting little ones. Let's start with this one. And might as well get this one too. A little extra stealth won't hurt, especially when I start having to deal with these higher level enemies that are all seem to be in goddamn groups. And what's this cost to upgrade? Because it's been useful a couple of times now. 2,000. Just under the upgrade cost for that one. Yeah, I'll use this. There we go. Level 16. I think that'll do for now. Keep the last little bit just till I get to the hospital. Ooh, this place is this area's health is in the critical. I got the feeling this area is gonna turn quite chaotic by the time I'm finished, because there's quite a few little chewable people in this area. Please heal everyone. What? Spoil my fun? Okay, I'll heal some of them then before I chew on them. Spoiled sport. Oh, I even make the papers. That's pretty cool. Prices. Prices change. Ah, yes. Ooh, he went from a headache up to a goddamn neuro problem. He's fatigued. Oh, he's got bronchitis as well. Sepsis. And fatigue. Okay. Yes, I think I'll build up and treat a few of them. Oh man, look at my eyes now. I'm flat out practically demonic at this point. Come here.
This is despicable.
Come here, my little rodent friend. Oh, stop that flashing light.
I have this thirst for blood.
Oh, another rat. Come here, rat.
This is despicable.
Okay, what skills and abilities am I using at the minute? Photography. Both buttons for that. Okay, I'll remember that. Take a look at the little jump ability. Whenever I get the chance. there supposed to be guards down here? Did they stake a rat?
That's a bloody crime!
Okay, get off the steps. Get off the steps. Come on. Puny little pipsqueaks I take out first. Okay.
Burn it, boy! Die, vermin! Don't like burning!
Okay, so he's one of the main ones, this guy. Okay, that's one of the buggers.
Trust the leech, boy!
Get out of the corner! Can't see shit in that corner.
Burn it, boys! Die, vermin!
Okay, I'm just gonna focus on him because these little ones are just gonna keep coming, it seems.
Leech, boys!
Hit him for God's sake. Jesus. Oh, I forgot my ultimate. I should have used that for him. Nothing to pick up even? That's disappointing, all that effort. They staked a rat. Rather cheese-picking minds. Oh, he's still squealing away up there. Okay, to talk to Lady Ashbury and tell her I've solved her little issue with dear old Dorothy. Poor old Renfield. Control yourself, madam.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed.
I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
We are vampires. We live by leeching the blood from weaker prey.
He's already starting to sound like Kane.
Next chapter, his cynical and perhaps ultimate exploration.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmail.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, permanently. You will not be bothered anymore by the woman.
And who was this woman?
If you must know, she worked under my employ as Nurse Crane. But I'll wager that's not what will be written on her gravestone.
You killed her. Is that what you consider discretion and diplomacy, Dr. Reed?
I did what I thought was best, and acted accordingly.
You will learn that trust is a rare and precious commodity in the Immortals world, my young doctor. And your actions have not induced me to offer you my support.
Don't piss me off, lady.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well, but I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then.
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a Scowl?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
Strange
How could
notion.
this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
I didn't know by now?
Crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Nice way to put it.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
I'll remember that.
I bid you farewell. For now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
I want to increase stamina. Good, good, good. It's like I saw someone needed sepsis. Someone needed bronchitis. And 1 for sepsis. That should cover me now for
Razvan Vasily
a couple of
was
cures
infected
for
by
Luxoner.
Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Okay. Okay. I think that's where we'll end the stream for a while. Gotta make a run to the shops before they close and get some dinner. Hope you all enjoyed this blood-soaked stream. We should continue on a little later this evening. As always, follow my links on my Twitch channel to my YouTube channel. There's also the donation button if you wish to support my project to remake the original Blood Omen. Have fun, folks, and I will see you all later this evening. Enjoy. See you later, Luxoner. Thanks for all the tips and info.